Hey, what's up guys? Preston here, Citizen Response. Got two guns for you today. I'm going to put a head-to-head direct comparison towards hottest gun on the market right now, P365X Macro with the dual port comp on the top, 17 round mag versus the tried and true P365X, pretty comparable to the XL and normal P365. We're going to run a few drills head-to-head, see how they compare. All right guys, doing a few drills comparing the basically stock 365X just with the EPS carry on it versus the X Macro. What we're trying to do here is isolate out. I'm not going to be going from the draw, anything like that. Seeing does the compensator extra size from the X Macro really give you a benefit over the normal 365X to XL kind of setup. So the first set of drills we're going to do here, mostly focusing on recoil management because that's the benefit you get from the comp, right, or whatever it is. So we're here at 3 yards. We're going to put 4 rounds in that 6x6 head box from compressed ready. Okay, all in. That was a 141. We're going to do each set of drills 3 times to get a good average. Let's run it again. All right, that was a 136. Forgot to mention we're running these on the Infinity targets. It's perfect out here. Wasn't planning on it raining, but here we are. It's completely waterproof, gives you the ability to basically shoot paper without the negative downsides of shooting paper. Little plug there. All right, here we go, last time. Good, so all those rounds are in, as you can see on the Infinity target. That was a 136. Let's run with the X Macro, see what we got. All right guys, we're gonna run the same drill. 3 yards, 4 hits into the 6x6 head box. This time I got the X Macro with the 407K on top, so almost an identical setup. Here we go. Okay, that was a 122. Let's do it again. Little trigger flinch there. 148. Same thing, trigger flinch on that 4th shot, still a 135. And as you can see, all of our hits are in the 6x6 head box. All right guys, here at 7 yards, running a pretty standard drill, build drill on this Infinity targets. We're gonna do the 365X first. All right, we got 6 in the A zone, and that was a 177. Like we threw 1 Charlie just barely left there. That was a 182. Go and swap mags here. Yeah, that's right. That's the 17 round X Macro mag. Let's see how it runs. Oh shoot, well, didn't have it fully seated. That's my fault. We're gonna go ahead and run that again. Won't count that Charlie. All right, final run for the 365X. Another 6 in the A zone, and that was a 202. We're gonna go paint the target, do it with the X Macro. All right guys, now we're running the build drills with the X Macro. Looks like we threw 1 Charlie, barely left, might be line breaker. That was a 176. That was 6 alphas. It was a 181. That was our fastest one, definitely. That was a 170. Looks like 6 alphas again. All right, guys, we're gonna run the 365X first and the X Macro, 15-yard doubles, 2 hits on the 6x8 steel. Okay, that was a 165. That was a 152. That was a 153. Now we're gonna switch over, run the X Macro. Luckily it stopped raining, so I got to take that hot jacket off. We're here at 15 yards with the X macro. We're gonna run 3 doubles. That was a 139. Pulled my first shot on that one. That was a 184. First 2 shots was a 140 if I would have hit it. Let's run it again. That was a 133. All right, guys, final test. This is purely subjective. This is not an objective test. I'm going to be shooting from a close retention position. I think it's important to practice this, get a good education from a good instructor to teach you how to do this safely and well. But this is something I practice often, so I want to see comparing the 365X to the X macro. If the X macro is seemingly unshootable, personally to me, I wouldn't carry it. If the comps shoot too much gas in my face, but we're going to test that right now. Just going to shoot a few shots. You're going to get some of that concussion regardless, shooting this close to your face. But that was the 365X. Feels okay. You're going to get a lot of concussion because that short barrel. We're going to switch over, try it out with the X macro. All right, guys, we got the X macro. We're going to shoot from the same retention position. See how it feels. Woo. Definitely a little more pop in the face, that's for sure. Like I said, you're getting concussion either way, but I can definitely tell a difference. Ooh. I definitely felt chunks hit my face. I don't know if that was from this crappy Tula ammo I'm shooting, but I'd have to do some more testing with maybe a piece of paper or something to see if it's blowing chunks. But I don't know how comfortable I would be shooting with this from a retention position without iPro on. So potential negative, something to keep in mind, something I have to test further, but just giving y'all a little bit more piece of information. All right, guys, so we're back from the range. Y'all saw the range footage. There's definitely a little bit of subjective bias, I think, towards the Compensator. From what I can see, it looks like it's flipping less, but all that really matters is hits on target and how quick you do it. How it looks like in between doesn't matter to me. So I got my little cheat sheet here with all of our times. So for the 4 at 3 drill in the 6x6 head box, the X had an average time of 1.39 seconds, whereas the X macro had an average time of 1.35 seconds initially. I think without the trigger freeze, it probably would have been about a 1.27. That's being a little generous. And so there's a 12% advantage for the macro there. Next, we have the bill drill. So the bill drill with the P365X, the time average was a 1.87. With the X macro, the time average was a 1.75. So once again, that's a 12% benefit for the X macro. Then we have the doubles at 15. The P365X, the average time was 1.56 seconds. The X macro, the average time was 1.37 seconds. So it's a 19% difference for the macro. So looking at that, we're having somewhere between a 12% and a 19% benefit with the X macro versus the P365X. Is it worth the extra money? I'm not sure. That's for you to decide. That's for you to test it out. Go rent it at your local gun range and see if it works for you. For me personally, I'm not sure if I'm sold on the size increase because I love the concealability of the P365X. I'll have a review coming out on that soon. I'm not going to put a review out on either of these guns yet because I haven't put nearly enough rounds through them to give an honest recommendation of whether I would trust my life to it, but we're getting close. So there's some data for you, some comparison you can look at, and also the retention shooting portion that I threw in there. I did that because I think it's important to practice retention shooting from those bad breath, close within arm's length distances because it's something you might have to do. Guys, it's totally subjective. That's something that you should check it on your own after getting a good instruction from a qualified instructor. That's all I got for you today. Just a quick video comparing two of the hottest guns on the market. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm not going to segment the end of this video. I like to talk about my faith and philosophy and a lot of stuff because don't get me wrong, like guns and shooting is awesome, but you have to have the right moral framework and grounding, I personally believe, to be able to employ these tools in a righteous manner. And where does that come from? I personally believe that comes being right with God, specifically through Jesus. So something that's been on my mind recently is God opening and closing doors. Guys, I'm not getting deep into theology about whether everything's predestined or not, but man, if you're in a tough situation and you're really not sure what the best thing to do is, first, just pray. I think starting everything off with prayer is super important. It gives you direction. It can give you clarity on why you're doing what you're doing. And I've noticed in my life in many, many different circumstances, and if you want examples, just DM me or shoot me an email or whatever, we can talk. But I found when I'm at a tough crossroads, praying that God would open and close doors, that's going to lead me to be most like him and be in a situation where I can do the best work for him. Guys, I found that he opens and shuts doors every single time. So if you want to talk about it more, like I said, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. Guys, as always, get out there, train hard, stay safe.